And hi again, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of On the Town with Suz and Doug. And she
Hi.
is Suz, and I am
Hi.
Doug. And we're doing this via Skype. And Suz and I thought we'd do something a little bit different tonight.
Yeah.
Last week we did a kind of a remembrance of a local restaurant that went goodbye, the Hobnob. We got a lot of good reaction to that. A lot of people liked the little video we did. Thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But tonight we thought we'd kind of branch into the more entertainment side and talk about one of our favorite shows,
Yeah.
Dallas. So we'll just kind of
That.
talk about that a little bit, and we may do a series of these because it was on for a long time, but we've been wanting to do this for a while, haven't we?
Absolutely. And I remember when I was in school, actually I started watching Dallas when I was in junior high, and it didn't take very long, just fell in love with the show. It was just, it was fun. Larry Hagman playing J.R. Ewing. You never knew what he was up to. Actually, my mom really loved the show too, and dad, my parents really got into it also. It was just a really entertaining, addictive show that you couldn't wait uh, to tune into on Friday nights.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we didn't know each other when it was on originally, but we've talked over the years how we both loved watching the show when it was on. Came on, I believe, in I think January of '78. They only did it
Yeah.
was going to be a miniseries,
Yeah.
maybe 5 episodes. They did miniseries back then, like for a week long day, 5 nights in a row, and it got such great reaction that they made it into a series. It was only going to be those 5 episodes, and that was
Yeah.
it. But it did
Yeah.
so well, and they made it into an hour-long series.
It's interesting how that happened. And they said, I know, and I read a little bit about one of the characters, Linda Gray, who played Sue Ellen, JR's wife. And they used to, and I read this one article where they said that Linda Gray was saying that they called her the brunette on the sofa in that original series because she was just kind of saying, "Oh yes, can I get you some coffee?" And like a text, and she wasn't really
She
her
was a
character.
minor character, as was JR's character. He talked about it. I've seen in interviews. It was supposed to be Bobby and Pam, Romeo and Juliet. That's really what it was. And these two families that were kind of feuding, the Ewings and the Barneses, and they were like the Romeo and actually the show opens with Bobby and Pam driving in their car after they just got married, right?
Yeah, they were driving through Texas. It looked like it was snowing and very icy. It was
Yeah,
kind of a rural place in Texas where they were driving, and I remember they pulled into this one gas station.
yeah.
uh, and they got a tank of gas, and then I think they had breakfast at this car gas station where they pulled in, and the guy was also going to wash his Mercedes,
The Mercedes convertible.
the red one. Yeah, it was beautiful. I know. I remember and going, oh my goodness. I remember it was a beautiful car, and the cars on the show were always, yeah, really,
Yeah,
really.
they were billionaires, I guess, the family. So they had the best cars at the time they would put on the show, right? Usually Mercedes, most of
Yeah,
Mercedes. I think Jock had a Cadillac, didn't he?
yeah, I think it
Or a
was.
town car? I'm not sure. Either a
Yeah,
Cadillac or a town car. The
yeah,
father.
I
Yeah.
think you're absolutely right. I think it was like a Lincoln, like
Not
a.
the Lincoln Town car. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Yeah, and nice car too. And I wondered if Miss Ellie had a car, but
She rarely
I
drove in it.
yeah,
I don't know if she had her own. They all had license plates with the Ewing one. The father was Ewing one, Ewing two, JR, depending on their order of
that,
birth, I guess.
okay. You're probably absolutely right. That's
Yeah.
probably what it was because I was trying to think because it seemed like Lucy had a higher number on
Yeah,
hers.
yeah, she got one later on. I guess I don't know who bought it for her, JR or Bobby bought it for her. Somebody bought it for her in high school,
I think
right?
that, yeah, and I think it was like she was feeling really down, or she had been going out with this one guy and things didn't work out. And then he took her
Never
out.
seemed to work out for Lucy too well in the romance department.
Very sad. Yeah, Miss Lucy had her ups and downs, definitely. Really cute girl, but yeah, she definitely and she seemed like a smart girl too, but yeah, she definitely had her ups and downs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get too far along, we just want to say we had a chance, you and I, although you had to kind of do yours recorded wise, your question. We had a chance to talk to Bobby on the show, of course, Patrick
Yeah,
Duffy,
that
about a year and a half ago. We've also had a chance to talk to Charlene Tilton, who played Lucy. I had a chance to talk with her
yeah,
on radio
well,
in Sarasota, and also Afton Cooper,
yeah,
Audrey Landers. So we've had three people from Dallas who we had a chance to talk to on
that's
radio, which has
so
been fun.
yes, and I remember the day that I think the day we had the Patrick Duffy and Linda Pearl.
Linda Pearl, who is they're together now. She's an actress. You all know her from Happy Days and Matlock. She's a singer, but she was on. They were promoting. They have like a bread
Yeah,
business, yeast
it was
actually.
interesting. Yeah, with
But we
this.
talked to him about that, and we also talked about He was really nice. He talked about the show. I'm sure he's answered questions, the same ones we've asked him year for years, but he was very nice.
He was really nice about it, and unfortunately, I had to work the day Doug did the interview with them, but I got to pre-record.
We
Uh,
had Sue's pre-record a couple of questions that she wanted to ask, so, and he was really nice about it. So
it was
great.
real-
We'll try and get him on again
that
because
would be
hopefully
fantastic.
they'll promote. They want to promote their bread thing, so we'll have him on again.
Absolutely. That would be so exciting if we could do like a live, like a video
Yeah, we'll
interview.
see if we can. I've seen them do other interviews via Skype and Zoom, so we'll see
Wow,
what they want to do.
that'd be
But
amazing.
yeah, anyway, like you said, you started watching the show when you were in junior high. I remember started
Yeah,
watching it Friday nights. I think 9 o'clock in New York. Well, you were in Philadelphia. Same for you, right?
yeah,
9 o'clock Friday nights. Channel 2,
yeah.
CBS. And
CBS.
I had just gotten the VCR
Uh-huh.
uh, then, so I guess I didn't start watching it maybe till like 80
Yeah,
when it really kind of took off. And then usually Friday nights I was out playing tennis, but I'd record the episodes on my early
okay.
VCR, and you could not do that. You had to watch, see what happened. One of those kind of shows.
It was so addictive and you know, it was every and then the interesting thing about the show is the characters kind of evolved, they changed as time went on. You know, Linda Gray, her character where she seemed very weak and very vulnerable
Right.
at the beginning of the show, she changed and even became a business owner, Valentine
Right.
lingerie.
Actually, she got her own lingerie business and
Wow.
then a movie business, right? Film
Yeah,
business.
it was wow. Is she really? And then it seems like now, it seems like in the series, her second husband was that Englishman.
That was
Uh,
toward the end of her run. She left before it went off the air. I think in season 11. I think she
season
left.
11. Yeah,
11, 12. I'm not sure which one. But yeah, it was a British guy. She was actually broken up from JR and trying to get revenge on him. And
yeah.
he was a movie producer she hired, and she wanted to make a movie that would embarrass JR. So that was how
Sure.
they remember that whole storyline.
That really, yeah. And they
But they
actually
wound up getting married,
they ended
going
up
off
falling
to Europe,
in love.
and then she left the show until the
Yeah,
reunion movies.
yeah. It was really interesting. So I guess Sue Ellen and I forget the Englishman she married. They went back to London. She ended up
They went over
moving.
to London, right? Yeah.
And I
She,
and I
she
was
wanted
trying
to
to
be written out of the show, she said, because I guess she just had enough.
with
Said
that.
she didn't want to play a drunk again. So
Yeah, that must have
no,
been
they made her
yeah,
go up and down a few times, with the booze, alcohol problem. She'd come
that
back, okay, then she'd do a fall. She didn't want to do it a third time, so she said, "No, that's enough."
and you know what?
Although she
That
did do it in the reboot series. She had a
oh,
remember that. We'll talk about that another time. But they did the
yeah,
reboot series about 12 years ago. But she said, I guess she just had enough. Yeah,
she had enough. There and you know, sometimes that was so hard to watch. I mean, she played that, you
really
know, the
well. Yeah,
really well, and it was really hard to watch that because yeah, someone having like the lack of control like that
oh
to
yeah, yeah. But she said she got a lot of great mail from it that people are, going through that in real life kind of
yeah,
help them get help. So
Absolutely.
it
That
helped.
was
It helps when you see that portrayed, and was able to, at least a couple times in the show, get straightened out. Although they
it,
put her back into the bottle a few times to get more drama out of it.
yeah, yeah,
But you were talking before how J.R., Larry Hagman, and Sue Ellen, Linda Gray's character, they really were only even Larry Hagman, I think in interviews said they were only going to be maybe secondary characters, but J.R.
yeah,
was such a dynamic presence, and then together they were so good.
they were so
Linda
good.
Gray and
Yeah,
him, writers saw that, and then they said, well, we got to write for them too. So
yeah,
that wasn't the original plan for J.R. to be what he was.
yeah. The chemistry was just so good, and I think that, and you can see it even in that pilot, the episodes for Dallas, how Jr. He's scheming, and as the villain, really, kind of like the villain, or but he was like a likable one. He was
Right.
like a schemer.
They made him in more of a likable villain.
Yeah,
Right.
you
Yeah.
were kind of like drawn to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. But I will say this, like a lot of the junior high girls, high school, Bobby for
I
the
guess Bobby
female
was the one that girls liked, I would imagine.
younger, yeah,
And
he was
for the
kind of,
guys, they liked, well, I mean, Linda Gray, but she was an older woman but if you were like in your teens or 20s, you
yeah,
like Pam,
yeah. Pam was
Victoria Principal.
pretty. Yeah, she was really. It seems like she had some aerobics workout thing.
She did those videos, I think, a couple of those workout videos, right? Yeah.
Very pretty. Yeah, she
But
really
she'd
said
been
that.
around a while. She was in movies, and she became an agent. And then
Oh,
I think she was content to do that. And then they asked her to do this series, and she didn't think it would go anywhere. And she did it, and then kind of resurrected her acting. She wasn't planning on doing any more acting, she said in an interview I saw.
that is so interesting. Yeah,
And
it's
she left after about 7 years, I think.
yeah, I think it was like 7. I thought it was sad with the car crash, the way
They
that
killed her off, or it looked like they killed her off. Yeah.
that
And
was
then
really sad, and
they
and
tried to
then
bring it back. Remember, there was a storyline where some other actress came after, she had plastic surgery and was supposed to be Pam again. And they were going to bring her back as Pam, I read, but then people complained, and no, you can't do that. So they made it, well, it wasn't her.
it wasn't her. Yeah,
They did the
yeah,
same thing when Jock, remember they were trying to bring back Jock with that other guy that claimed he was Jock and had all the plastic surgery after Jock supposedly died in a helicopter crash.
and people thought that was weird.
And they were
Yeah.
going to, I read again, the writer said they were going to make him, yeah, it was Jock. And then people complained and said, no, you can't do that. And then they
Now, and
quickly wrapped it up.
he looked kind of like a young Colonel Sanders or
He did.
something. I don't know. I
He's a good
just
actor, that guy, but
like a
he was kind of in a
goatee.
bad situation because
Yeah, I always
people
thought he
love
was
Jock
kind
so
of,
much, the actor
yeah, and
who
I
died
don't
in
mean
real
to
life.
be rude.
He died
He
in real
looked
life,
kind
to
of
remind people.
strange. Yeah, it just, yeah, it was like, no. I'm with the fans. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
the guy
with
who
you.
played Jock, well, Jim Davis, he died sadly, I guess, what, the fourth or fifth year in real
Yep.
life. They did this
Yeah.
other storyline, but it kind of fell apart. So they quickly corrected that. And then
Yeah.
Clayton Farlow came in to be
Yeah, he
Buddy's
was
husband.
that was interesting. I know you had said he had been like my dad said too, like a musical
A
guy,
lot of
like
movie musicals in the 40s and 50s. Yeah, he did. What did he do? Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, I think, and
wow,
Kiss Me Kate. A bunch of them. He was a musical. He was a singer. Yeah, good singer.
singer. That is so
Like the
wow.
old MGM musicals. Those one of those guys. Yeah.
That is so interesting. It's really it's just the whole thing it's just so fun the day, and getting and it's so fun like with a series
Howard. What was his name?
uh Keel,
Howard Keel. Thanks.
Howard Keel. There we
Let's see, Howard Duff. That's a different guy.
go.
Howard Keel. Yeah.
I was trying to, and the one storyline with Dallas, the original series that I thought was kind of, and she was such a cute lady, like Callie,
Callie in
that
the later years
we
with the little
felt,
country girl that Jr. Fell for in Haleyville. That was a mistake.
yeah, yeah,
Nearly cost him his life there, right? And the crazy
oh, that
brothers
was
were
scary.
going to
Yeah,
shoot him unless they got married to little Callie, and that was an interesting storyline. It kind of ran
yeah,
out of ideas, I think. We've talked about that before, and what, season 12, 13, 14, they kind of ran out of Great
Right.
idea. So I think the first 5 years
We're
about as
good.
good as any show ever of that type, don't you think?
Really good. My mom said that too. She thought that maybe the series ran a little bit too long
I think they
because
were just making so much money with it, they kept renewing it. But yeah, it lost something after, and then Bobby left. Remember Bobby left after
yeah,
what, season
that
8 it was, to go to make movies, and that didn't work out for him. So he came. They brought him back.
and yeah, that dream season and the dream season that was so weird,
You see, a lot
and
of people like never went back after that. They got really disappointed and they never watched it again. Yeah.
yeah, that was really
I think
uh,
yeah, you sort of manipulated the audience a little bit too much there. A lot of people, it didn't bother me. I thought it was kind of interesting, but people that
yeah.
really get involved in those things. Well, you were what, watching it then? Did that
Well,
bother you?
I think I was in high school at the
Yeah.
time, like in the later years for it, and it
Women didn't
it-
like it. I heard a lot of women didn't like
yeah,
that.
I thought that, actually, I thought it was, maybe I am, please everyone don't. I thought it was kind of nice, because she married Mark. Uh,
Mark was the guy, right? Yeah, the
and
mustache. Yeah, yeah.
actually, he was kind of a nice guy, and it was like would have been a different storyline and something different, something. And Christopher liked Mark too. He seemed like a nice guy on for the character, and and he was ill, but he was get. It was just kind of sad the way it just totally changed, and it was a little bit. And then Sue Ellen was getting better. She went to rehab during the dream season, and that was nice. And then it seemed like, yeah, she wasn't doing well again, so it was kind of sad. Yeah, there was some things about it, the dream season, but I guess it was interesting. But from the female view of it, yeah,
I think
it was okay, but
particularly
just
women, but if you got involved in the story and then you said, "Oh, okay, this is the new guy," and then the
yeah,
first episode of the next season, they show
yeah,
Bobby in the shower, and then they said it was all nothing. Nothing had happened.
yeah,
You got involved in that story, and then they tell you, forget it. I think a
yeah.
lot of people got upset about that.
Because I think what happened, like during the dream season, like I think it was the last episode of the dream season. I guess that was season 9. Pam and Mark got married,
Right, right.
and then she's waking up and Bobby's there. It's like, yeah, it's
That's
just
right. It was the last episode. They show him in the shower. And she goes in and he
that
turns
was,
around and says, "Yeah, right."
yeah,
She
yeah,
wakes up and goes in the bathroom, and that
yeah. And
was
he's
the
like, "Hi,
cliffhanger. Yeah.
do you have, like, almost like, hey, we ran out of soap or something. It's like, where did this come? Yeah, it was kind of weird, because they also had the funeral for Bobby during
The
season
funeral,
9.
right.
So-
So people
And
really get involved with it, and they felt probably sad. I mean, yeah, everybody knows it's made up, but these people get involved in the story, and then all of a sudden they pull the rug out from under you and said,
yeah, and my mom thought it was weird too. She said, I
"Yeah,
don't get it, because she was following it and watching. I don't know if my dad, but my mom was following the series, and
right."
a little weird. Yeah, you had to kind of then
Yeah,
just
and
kind of
after that, it was good for another couple of years, but it kind of fell off. Even I've heard Patrick Duffy and Larry Hagman say in interviews they didn't think the quality was there that it had
yeah.
been. You know,
Yeah, it was, and then I think in later, uh, like Sue Ellen, one of her new boyfriends was that
oh,
guy.
the guy whose father was in the mob.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was kind of,
it got a
um,
little bit crazy there because the first 5, 6 years was
yeah,
like about the oil business, was like the manipulations
it
of
was
these
really
guys. It was
interesting.
it had a sense of reality to it. It wasn't quite soap opera-ish as much as some of the other
Yeah,
shows.
and then it
Yeah.
was getting really kind of weird.
They
Yeah,
got
after
yeah, they
a
went
while.
all over the rails. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Still
think,
entertaining, but yeah, it became more, not believable.
yeah, yeah, I think the one is, where, like I said, Sue Ellen, I forget his now. She was dating the son of the mob guy
Right.
on that, and then JR and her boyfriend, the mob guy, were
Oh, they get
fight.
in a fight in the office, right?
Yeah, yeah, and then her boyfriend went over a balcony, and
Pulls
that,
out the window.
yeah, that was. Really
Yeah, the
weird.
cliffhanger was the guy falling out the window, and that was
Like that,
they
and
froze
Sue
freeze
Ellen
frame, and
shot JR. I didn't
Jack Scalia
understand.
was his name. Yeah,
Yeah, Jack Scale.
the
Yeah,
actor, Jack Scalia.
it was, and I don't know. It was just, yeah.
And then the
It
mob
was,
guys, the father, the mob guy, next season was going after JR, right? To avenge this.
yes.
I forget how they settled that. I guess JR convinced him that it wasn't his fault, but they were going to put a hit out on JR. They did put a hit out on JR, but
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I think with Sue Ellen, he didn't do anything to her because he knew that she
no,
loved his
wasn't his
son,
fault, her fault. No.
but it was really weird. Yeah, it was
And then, oh,
it
remember the other thing too? We talk about Clayton coming in, but they had a new Miss Ellie for a season.
yes, Donna Reed. Yeah.
Yeah, Barbara Belgetti's left. I think she had heart surgery or something.
Oh,
Left the show, and she was, she said, all right, that's enough. And they brought
yeah.
Donna Reed in, and it didn't work. People didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, she was pretty and nice and everything, but
I mean, a legend, TV, movies, Donna Reed, big name, but people didn't like, not her necessarily, but they didn't like that she was playing Miss Ellie. Yeah.
yeah, it was like I think what it was is Miss Ellie, my mom had said it like she had this earthy,
You
natural,
believe she was the mom of those
she
sons.
was very, very
Yeah, you
natural.
believe that, yeah. And
Yeah,
then you bring another actress and say, "Oh, it's all make believe." You know, it's make believe, but
yeah.
you kind of suspend that. But then you bring in Donna Reed. How do you supposed to believe that she's Miss Ellie now? Yeah,
See, that's the
yeah,
thing. It was like she was so natural
yeah.
as Stella, and you thought she was I mean, she was really good at, yeah, she was
Yeah.
great.
She actually fired. It was kind of sad how they did. They didn't treat her very well. They fired her. Basically, didn't tell her, I think. And then they brought Barbara Belgetti's back the next year. She came back, but
Wow,
uh,
that
show
was
business is tough. They fire a legend, Donna Reed. They hardly. I don't think they even told her. I think they just told her
wow.
agent or something. They didn't even tell her.
I mean, yeah, she was very, very, um, I don't mean to be rude here either. Like everyone has a different way, like Miss Ellie's way was a very natural, kind of a
Right.
earthy way. And Donna Reed was kind of had a very classy, she had like a different,
Yeah, you still think of her as the mom in the Donna Reed show, just
yeah,
in the
yeah.
neighbor,
And
suburban neighborhood. Yeah,
hard to get into. Yeah, she just was a little more stiff or
yeah,
something. And Miss Ellie was very just natural. Yeah,
right,
as
right,
that. So it was played very differently, and they even dressed so different. Like Donna Reed was very well groomed,
right. They have different, yeah, dress
and
tradition.
Miss Ellie looked very nice too. But she had like a shirt with a pair of pants, and like she really looked like she was on a ranch. She was
Oh
very
yeah, yeah,
Miss Ellie, and Donna Reed looks very elegantly dressed, but just a very different. I'm sorry
yeah.
about my dog.
That's
Every
okay. People
That's a
can
little
know about
Thai
the dogs.
guy.
That is either Ty or Hope, right?
Yes, I have two little dogs, everyone, and I am just going to pick up my little friend here. Hi, hi.
Yeah,
This
introduce them to
and this is little Tai
our
Tai.
friends out there. That is Ty.
Hi, hi. He is 13, and he is an absolute sweetheart. Um, he is a he is called his breed is a teddy bear. He is a Shih Tzu Bichon.
Bichon
He
Mix. Yeah.
he is a
Ty
sweetheart.
is, I believe, 13 now, right?
I can't believe it.
Okay, we're back. We had a little glitch on Susan's
Yeah,
picture. You're just holding up a little Ty, the dog, telling him about him. And just once again, you said he had cataracts. We're talking about that.
he did. Yes, Ty unfortunately started getting cataracts at age 4. So he has had them quite a long time. And it's not something that the breed always gets, but they can. But my other dog, Hope, she's a Shih Tzu. And so far, she was born in 2016, but she's fine. So far, no eye problems. It might have been just something that Ty unfortunately had. But besides that, his health is Very good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, we just wanted to introduce the dogs because they were making some
Yes.
noise there, so that's why we.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'll
absolutely.
kind of wrap it up now on kind of our overview of Dallas. Obviously, we both enjoyed the show. I remember watching it. We didn't even talk about the Who Shot JR episode. We're going to do that as a separate
Yeah.
video. Do that as a
Yeah.
separate. There's so
Yeah.
much to talk about with that, what happened and all that. But all 14 seasons, and then you and
Wow.
I have been kind of watching it. You can watch it on what is it, Freebie?
Freebie. Yeah, Freebie.
Watching
Freebie.
that. The whole 14 years are up there. So anybody who never saw the show, or if you haven't seen it originally, we recommend just go up there and check it out. You can kind of binge watch, or you can fast forward through parts you don't like, but it's really good.
It's really good. It's
Yeah,
so
shows they don't make like that anymore, unfortunately.
it's just, it's just one of those shows you get into it, you think about it, you can't wait to see the next episode. It's like candy. You don't want to
And there
stop.
was a class to it. They got a little risque, but it never got like TV today. It never got
No,
where you were embarrassed or anything.
no. And it didn't have swearing. It didn't have
I don't remember any. No, no.
it was I don't think I ever heard, I don't think so,
I don't think
profanity.
so.
It
No.
was really nice. Yeah. I mean, not that I'm some a prude or but
But
you
even for
know,
TV at the time, they didn't do any, what you could say then, they didn't do any of that. But the women were always, classy looking,
look
Women, I'm
nice.
sure, liked looking at the outfits and the hairdos, right? Wasn't
It's
that part
fun.
of the deal for women?
Absolutely. You always
Guys like
look
looking at the women,
absolutely
They're
and the
always
make
good looking. I mean, who'd you have? Obviously, we mentioned Callie and
yeah.
all of
So,
JR's girlfriends. The
oh
Valentine
yeah.
girl, what was her name?
Oh my gosh. Mandy.
Mandy. How can I
Mandy.
forget Mandy?
Yes,
Was
the
a,
Valentine.
she was a former Miss USA, Deborah Shelton.
Oh my God.
Shelton. Yeah.
Wow. Oh
Look
my
her
God.
up, people out there. Deborah
Yeah.
Shelton.
Oh my God. Wow, I'm gonna look. Yeah. Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
right. She was a former.
Miss
Wow.
USA. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think, and this is off the subject, but Wonder Woman, Linda Carter,
The Carter. Yeah.
I think she had been a
She was.
Miss
I
Miss
think.
America.
I think she was. I don't know if she won it, but she was like maybe a finalist. She might have won it. I'm not sure, but she was
Was it Miss America or
one of the
I-
two. I thought she was a Miss USA pageant, either
yeah,
a winner or
pretty.
runner up, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, love Linda Carter. Pretty.
Yeah, Linda
Yeah.
Carter. Never
Oh.
really watched that show much,
No,
but
I just
popular.
somehow I got into that, but they
Didn't
had
get
like
into that one at the time. No. No.
yeah, they had like the old adventures of that during World War II,
Well,
and then
right.
they had the new adventures. And I think that it was weird in the new adventures, it was Steve, that guy that she
Lyle
had.
Wagner from
It
Carol
was
Burnett
like
show.
yeah, it's right. I think it was like his son or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Steve's
Yeah,
son.
the same actor, Lyle Wagner, but they brought it up to
Well,
the present. Yeah.
yeah, it was really it was that
Well, maybe
was
we'll do a video on other shows that we watch as during then. But we just kind of want to do an overview of Dallas tonight, since we didn't have a restaurant to talk about. But
absolutely.
we've been talking about doing this for a while, so this is kind of a part one. And anybody out there that watched Dallas, put a comment in the comment section below. Let us know what you thought, if you liked the show, or if you didn't like the show, or who you liked best.
Absolutely.
It was a fun show to watch. I mean, you always enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That'll wrap it up. Suze, great
All
job.
thank you. Thank
Well,
you.
we'll give thumbs up to Dallas
Thumbs up. Always
as
thumbs up.
one of the all-time great series, right? Got to do that.
Absolutely.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
watching, everybody. We'll see you again
Thank
soon.
you.